Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. I'm super excited for all that we will get to discover today. We've already had some really powerful shares with those who are on our call live this morning. If you haven't been on the call live, I encourage you to jump on. When you're here live, a lot of times you get like little tidbits that maybe you wouldn't get if you weren't on live. And there's just kind of a synergy that happens here with everybody sharing what they're grateful for. We do a few rounds of gratitude and some breathing exercises before we start the recording. And it just kind of, especially that breathing exercise, I think just gets our blood moving and kind of gets things flowing. And not only our body, blood and oxygen and all that kind of stuff, but also I feel like it helps us to get the inspiration flowing too. So super grateful to have you guys here. And if you're not able to get on the call live, there is a video that you can find. I think it's on our Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude. In the description of the Facebook group, I think you can find the link to the video there. That's how to do your own daily how to do your own daily gratitude practice, I think is what it's called. And it's a YouTube video, so you can go to there, and it explains about the breathing exercises we do in the beginning and those rounds of gratitude, and just walks you through all the steps that we do on the gratitude call. And so even if you're not able to get on live, you can experience some of these things that we do here. Thank you all for being here live, and also those who are listening to the podcast, and just excited for what we get to discover today. For today, I chose the subject of stimulating senses, gratitude for stimulating senses. Several of the things that were mentioned before we started the recording just really brought to mind using all of our senses. Somebody was talking about horses, and in fact, we could hear a horse whinnying in the background. That was kind of fun. And let's see, confidence, influence, fresh air that would stimulate senses, fresh new movement, like your body moving, just a lot of things, nourishing, a lot of words that brought to mind like all the different senses and all the different things that we get to experience on the earth using our senses. So that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to do a 90-second private meditation on gratitude for stimulating senses, and just write down whatever comes to you, and then we'll share. So 90-second private meditation, gratitude for stimulating senses. Begin. All right. Well, apparently smell was the sense that was freshest uh, on my inspiration this morning. I thought about outside and inside the smells. Last night I was making some spaghetti, and I make spaghetti sauce from scratch, but a lot of times I use just canned tomatoes and stuff. Um, but I always just kind of like throw stuff in, and I've cooked long enough that I can smell the whatever it is that's cooking, and I can tell what's missing. And if it needs a little bit of salt, or it needs some oregano or whatever, depending on what it is that I'm cooking. And my daughter had me taste something that she was cooking, some orange chicken or something like that, and it was just like a little packet. And I was like, it tastes like something's missing. And I smelled it, and I was like, it doesn't smell like orange. We need to put some orange in it. We need some, it's orange chicken. It should have some citrus. And so we put some orange in it, and it was perfect. And so I love that sense of smell. And I know that when we eat, we can actually taste better because we have a sense of smell. If you lose your sense of smell, and you can't really taste either. That's part of the sense of taste. And I learned a while ago, several years ago, that one of the reasons why fast food is not like it packs on the pounds more than just like eating at home is because when you're cooking at home, there's like a 20 to 30 minute time that you're smelling the foods that you're going to eat. And that sense of smell actually gets your digestive system ready to receive food. And when we walk into a fast food restaurant and order it, and we have it within 5 minutes, and then we sit down and we eat it, our digestive system isn't really ready for it. And we never get to have that opportunity, to savor the smell before we actually put it into our bodies. So I'm just really grateful this morning for my sense of smell. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I was just going to say that what I thought of is when I'm outside watering in the summer and I'm watering my garden and I can smell my linden tree when it's in bloom and my trumpet lilies, it is like the best thing to me. And to smell like the gifts of the earth and seriously, and all the bees buzzing in the trees, and it is just a fun, like it just brings joy to my heart when I have when my trees in bloom and we have all of those scents. And I love tasting. I love, like, I can smell I cook a lot, but and I don't know if this is ineffective because I know you're not supposed to taste while you cook, but I like to taste it and say, oh, okay, it needs this and this. And love I love our ability, all of the abilities that our body has to sense, even if it's through, what is it called when you can sense other people's emotion through,
Oh,
mirrored neurons? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Anyway,
That's new to me.
I
Thank
think
you.
it's called mirrored neurons, when you can pick up on what people are thinking, feeling. You can pick up on their emotions, whether you consciously realize it or not, through mirrored neurons, and it's in your face and everything. And I'm just
Wow,
grateful
that's
for all of those
interesting.
senses.
Thank you. And I think you said mirrored, like looking into a mirror, like
Yeah.
mirroring the emotions. Oh, cool. So I've heard of, and I know that I'm very empathic, and I know a lot of people have that empath sense, of other people's emotions, but I've never heard it called that. So thank you. That's interesting. It'd be interesting to look up some more information about that. I'm like you too. I have a garden out back, and we have fruit trees, and it just is it's almost like a relief when I hear bees buzzing, honeybees buzzing in my apple trees, or in the cherry trees or whatever when they're in bloom. it's like, oh yes, they're going to, my blossoms are going to get pollinated. I love that. And I love smelling when I'm out watering. I love smelling the tomato plants is what I really notice when I'm out in the garden. Thanks, Tyree. Who else?
So, you talked about clearing your senses, or your sense of smell, and it's been something that's been really interesting. When you do clear your senses, you have the ability to look and see things in a different perspective. That meaning, as you clear the way you feel, the way you smell, the way and wash your hands, you clean and clear that ability to be able to look at things in a different perspective. And that's kind of the take I took on it.
Awesome. Thank you. I was thinking about like when you're smelling a bunch of things, like if you're in like a perfume, I know I've gone into stores, that sell lots of perfumed products, and they'll have like little coffee beans sitting around. So you can do kind of, or it's like when you're eating a meal that's like a 7-course meal or something like that, they'll bring you a palate cleanser that's like a flavored ice or something like that will cleanse your palate so that you can actually taste the true flavor of the next food that's coming, or you can smell the true smell of the next smell, that you put to your nose. It's that cleansing your palate or cleansing your sense of smell so that you can start clean. That's a really awesome thought, a really awesome perspective. Thanks, Josh. Who else?
Wileen, I was just thinking about how I always tell my kids, this earth could have been just as functional without being near as beautiful as it is. But God gave us this beautiful, beautiful earth. And I've always been grateful for the earth, and I've always been grateful for my senses, but I forgot to put them together and think about how this earth could also be so beautiful, and we couldn't experience it in the same way without our senses. And so I'm just so grateful that we have this beautiful earth that was created for us to have joy in, and we have beautiful senses that were created for us to access that joy to this beautiful earth. And I just think that if I were the one giving these gifts, I would just be so giddy to think how they would be used and enjoyed.
Wow, amazing. Thank you, Sybil. It just really makes me feel so rich, to have all of our senses and to have so much bounty and variety and beauty and all something that, and we can even feel, if you think about that mirrored neurons that Tyree was talking about, that I have experienced that when I've been out hiking or up on the top of the mountain, I can just feel like a joy that is all around me. It's almost like you can just feel the trees that are living to their full potential. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Sybil. I appreciate you sharing that. Let's get maybe one more share before we shift over to our permission process.
I'd like to share.
Hey,
it's
thanks,
Melinda. Yeah. What came to my mind was stimulating my senses activates my divine intuitive power to create. And as I use these gifts and powers, I can achieve my goals and life's purpose.
Wow, beautiful. Can you repeat that? I want to write that down. Stimulating your senses, what?
Stimulating my senses activates divine intuitive power to create. And as I use these gifts and powers, I can achieve my goals and life's purpose.
Wow, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Melinda. And with that, let's go ahead and shift over to our permission process. I'm just super excited to allow us all to really tap into all of our senses and even those mirrored neurons so that we can feel even beyond our own senses and tap into the senses that our Heavenly Father has, like Sybil was talking about, how giddy, excited he must be when we tap into, when we return home to him energetically and just ask for more information, and the gratitude that we can express for this beautiful earth that he has given us. And just take a deep breath and just feel not only your own senses, but also allow yourself to expand and feel the empathically the emotions and the senses that our Heavenly Father must be feeling as we enjoy and experience and express gratitude for his part in our lives and what he has provided for us. Let's take one more deep breath. And the first thought that comes to me to ask or to share is, in what way have you possibly not been expressing gratitude for all of bounty and all the richness that is available to us in this earth, and all of the resources and everything that God has given us? In what way have you maybe bypassed or just not noticed, possibly even expressed negative words towards what you have or don't have? And without going to any shame or judgment or blame on yourself, also be aware of the limiting belief that has caused that state of being for yourself. What limiting belief would tell you that you have lack, or that you are not able to fully experience the richness of the earth that God has given us, and the richness and the bounty of the senses that we have to fully experience all of it? What's your limiting belief? And as you're becoming more clear with that limiting belief, you also know that every limiting belief comes with every limiting belief comes a cost. There is some sort of an outcome that limiting belief is producing for you that is not serving you. And just be aware right now of what that limiting belief has been producing in your life. And if you don't like that cost, you can give yourself permission to change it. You can give yourself permission to change that limiting belief and produce a different outcome. If you're ready to give yourself permission to choose a different outcome, say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And instead of going right to the new beliefs today, I invite us to create the new outcome. Write down what is the outcome that you want to produce. So if before you were producing an outcome that did not allow you to really experience all the richness and bounty that God has to offer, and noticing your senses and how grateful you are for everything that you have that allows you to experience all of that bounty, what is the outcome that you choose? What do you want to produce in your life? What would you rather be doing with the earth and the resources and the richness that God gives us? What would you rather be using your senses for? And write or draw a complete picture of the earth and all of the resources, all of the energetic blessings, all of the physical laws, everything that we have access to. Write or draw a complete picture of the way that you would choose, if you had the ability, that you would choose to utilize and experience and really embrace and live within all of the bounty and richness that God has to offer us, has already offered us. He's created for us, and we have access, easy access to. How would you like to be using all those resources? And then when you have a pretty complete picture, now let's create some new beliefs that will get you there. What do you need to believe? Who do you need to become to allow yourself to live inside of this description, this abundant, rich, bounteous life? What new beliefs will help you to become the person who fits inside this picture? What are your new beliefs? And now that you have some new beliefs, this is the start, and you know where you're going, the outcome that you want to produce. What is the one most important thing that you could do that would put you on the path and help you begin walking towards living inside of this outcome that you have just produced? In fact, what is the inspired shortcut that would put you there today? There is a way that you can fully experience this bounty and richness and access all of the resources and everything that God has given us today. What is your inspired shortcut to be living this life today? In a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. And I'm really grateful for this call today, because it really just kind of takes us back. It's almost like smelling coffee grounds in between two really pungent smells. It like brings us back to center. It brings us back to the beginning. It's like Josh was saying, helping us see things from a completely new perspective. And I'm just super grateful for this call, because every single day, even just doing those breathing exercises and just saying a few things that we're grateful for in the beginning helps to bring us back to center and where all of our bounty comes from. If you are struggling in any way with this, or if you just feel like you need some extra support, I would love to have a conversation with you. You can go to askwylene.com, and that will take you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call. And that's a free call. Would love to have a conversation with you and help you move forward, help you to identify whatever it is, the one block that you have of moving forward and really experiencing all that God has created for you. Who has something that they would like to share about their experience today?
I'll share.
Thanks, Tammy.
So I'm really excited about my goal this week. It's to create the house that I want. And yesterday I was talking to my kids about different rooms that I want in the house and just different things. And as you were going through that last part, just asking us to see the outcome that we want to have. I was envisioning creating abundance and helping fulfill my purpose through creating a home that invites people to use their senses to discover and learn, and how that can invite them to come unto Christ. And just thinking about, I was envisioning the different rooms that I am working on designing for the home that I want. And like there's a music room and a library, and then there's a bonus room up above the garage. And in that bonus room, it's gonna be a play area, and I want like rock climbing walls all over the wall, every wall, and then going up onto the ceiling too, and then like gymnastic mats and like balance beams and different things. And then I was thinking about the kitchen and just like the sense of smell, and just really thinking about just all the different things that we can learn through our senses. And I'm just very grateful for all the senses that we've been blessed with.
Beautiful. What an awesome thought to build your home around your senses, and just to build your home to that you and anybody that enters your home, that their senses are stimulated. And I just love that idea. What a cool plan. And I know your husband's on the call too, and so I assume he's on board with this, and that's a cool, fun family project, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I also love the idea that of that doing that, inviting people to really live in their senses fully in your home, that it invites people to come to Christ, because he was the creator of all. It's like, wow, I'm so grateful for my sense of smell. And that reminds us that Christ was, part of the creation process, of a very big part of the creation process of this earth, and all of the things that we get to enjoy here. What a wonderful plan. Let's get maybe one more quick share before we end our call today.
If I can share, I'm
Yes.
new. I want to jump right in.
Thanks, Amy.
Yeah, so I was looking at realizing that I need to say yes to the experiences that God puts in front of me, and that my limiting belief is that I'm selfish for wanting that I'm selfish for wanting to experience all of that, or for wanting or asking for more, and that's blocking me towards moving forward to my goals. And I think by activating and actually experiencing the things that I already have would probably help me to be more open to receive what God is waiting to give me, even if I might be a little bit scared of a new experience. But when I did the 90-second thing, there was a lot of things that came up with experiencing new things.
Beautiful.
So I think being able to open myself up to that by fully experiencing what I already have and being more grateful for it.
Wow. And you are absolutely correct. When we are grateful and content for what we have, it totally opens the door for more to be experienced. And what a powerful manifestation to just say yes and fully experience everything that God has to offer. Thank you. I love that. We are going to end on that. And I know that some of you, the rest of you probably have some things to share. Please go to the Breakthrough with Gratitude Facebook group and post there your thoughts. We would love to experience what you're experiencing, and just have love to, continue our interaction there. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being on our call today. I feel like this has just like opened up the door to creation and to experiencing abundance. And so I'm super excited for what we get to experience this week, because as you know, it seems like Monday morning is just like the beginning of something wonderful, and it just kind of builds throughout the week. So I'm super excited for what we get to discover this week today, and continue to join us throughout the week. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, and just welcome you all and bring your friends. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WilingBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.